Man befriends local swan, let the story commence. Craig was in his local public park where there was swans in the pond. And he'd been gone every day. He'd been feeling a wee bit depressed and wanted to reconnect with nature and get away from the screens and all that sort of shit, because a lot of his hassles were coming for the screens. Just Twitter's just a fucking mess. Just hassle, it's just other shit. He's starting to get out, look at fucking ducks and swans and shit like that who don't care about screens and get on with their lives despite all this stuff that's meant to matter. I just want to get back to just trees, grass, things like that. He kept going back to this same swan. It had a wee thing around its leg, like a wee bracelet-y thing, you know, some sort of wildlife thing, tracker thing, or, you know, one of these sort of things. And it was green. All the other ones were yellow. This one was green. And he kept going to that. And he went to get bread. Once he took some bread round, and this old woman said to him, "You shouldn't really do that. That's actually bad for them." He said, "Really? How? But really, how?" She said, "Well," he said, "a lot of people bring round bread that's like out of date, and they go, 'Oh, I'll get it to the birds because it's like bread that they don't use.' And sometimes it's got mould, and that mould is actually really bad for ducks and swans and things like that." He went, "Right, but normal bread is all right." She said, "I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know, but I've read it somewhere. I read something like that." He said, "Well, what should I do?" "You can give them like nuts and things like that. I'll have to look that up as well. It's not like dry roasted peanuts or salted peanuts. It's got to be like grain, or is it? I don't know." And he said, "And I suppose you'll be selling me a bag of that for like a tenner a bag when it only costs you about £1 to get." She says, "What are you on about? I haven't got anything." He went, "Right, well, I thought you were trying to sell me." So, "I'm not trying to sell you anything." And then she walked away. Anyway, the swan that Craig kept going up to, it seemed like it started to recognise Craig. And then Craig went like, "Oh." And said to the old woman, "Excuse me." She said, "I said I'm not trying to sell you anything. There's something wrong with you." He said, "No. Is there a toilet about here?" And she went, "There. And don't, no, I'm not going to charge you for the toilet. It's not my toilet." He said, "No, we're all that now. We're all that." And he went back to the swan, and he went, "This feels a bit daft, right?" But he went like that. "I'm away to the toilet, I'll be back in a minute." Why not talk to a swan? You talk to cats and dogs and things like that. And he went like, "You know what? I think I've missed this swan too much." So he picked up the swan, and it was fucking really trying to peck him. Peck him, only fools and horses. Really trying to peck him. And people say you're not allowed to do anything to the swans. They're actually the queen's swans. But it hadn't been passed out the king yet, the paperwork, so it didn't belong. Swans don't belong to anybody right now when they're in between. But he's been coronated or whatever. There's been the coronation, but the paperwork hasn't been done yet. He picked up the swan, took it to the toilet. The plan was to put it in one of the cubicles while he goes into the other cubicle, does a shite, comes out, goes into that cubicle, gets the swan, goes back, and all the rest of it. He just didn't want it flying off when he wasn't there. And there's all these wee bastards that are in. You just don't know what they're going to do. So he walked into the public toilet, and there was like 7 cubicles, holding this swan that was gone fucking daft, by the way. And some of the cubicle doors were shut. One was a wee bit open, so he started to move into that, right? And he started to open the door, and he could see a shadow right away. But before he had time to kind of like step back, the door got fucking kicked shut, and it fucking hit the swan. It hit the fucking swan. But the swan's got good reflexes. It just sort of, it's got quite a long neck. So the heat just goes back, and the neck absorbs the movement. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's leaning right in. And like if you're to hit its head, it's the bulk, it's like body, it's like, you know, there's give There's a bit of leeway. It's like that. See if something was to hit my horn right now. The whole arm moves. But see if you'd hit it, while I'm doing that, then, like, it's sort of like, if it goes any further back, then it starts to really hurt the shoulder. But there it's not to, anyway. So just kind of move back. Very flexible fucking neck. But fucking, it freaked the Swan out. And the Swan started petting Craig. And Craig went like, what you fucking doing, you fucking arsehole? You nearly killed that this Swan. And the guy inside went like, what? And the guy unlocked the door. He'd locked the door just after kicking it shut, and he unlocked the door. And the guy had a shite hanging out his arse. And Craig went like, what you fucking doing? He said, well, you're opening the door, no, but what you fucking doing? Finish your fucking shite. Pull your pants up. And the guy went like, what you doing with a fucking Swan? And Craig went like, sort yourself out and then we can fucking talk about it. You kicked the door shut, you hurt the fucking Swan. And the guy went like, what you fucking doing with a Swan? You're a fucking madman. Do you work here? Craig went like, what, my part of the council? The guy went like, aye. Craig went like, what are you fucking on about? Sort yourself out. Ask him if I work for the fucking council. You got a shite hanging out your arse. And the Swan pecked the shite out of the guy's arse. Pecked the shite out. And Craig went like, well, I suppose that's taken care of. The end. And that's a true story. How do I know? I was right next to I was in the cubicle next to it. Listened to the whole thing. But how do I know about what happened earlier? I kind of pieced it together using my AI. By going like that, what probably happened before this? And using AI in my brain, which is real intelligence, I went, so it's just I walked out. That's why you say I. It means intelligence. I means intelligence. I stands for intelligence.